Oh, hey, how's it going? I'm here on a little vacation, and but you know what? I'm in the mood actually for a tutorial. So today I'm going to show you guys how to get nice shots in the water, basically, whether it's above the water or underwater, it doesn't matter. The cameras I'll be using is a digital SLR. I'll be using Canon 7D, but you can use any SLR. Now I've actually tested out quite a few different underwater cameras, like the GoPros and what have you. But I found that those little cameras, as good as they are, you never really get the kind of quality and the kind of nice compression of the video as you get with especially a digital SLR. And now the most popular way that I found of shooting underwater with the SLR is to get a professional camera housing. The only problem with it is that those usually cost above $2,000, and the really good quality ones are going to cost you around $10,000. If you want to do something for the ultimate low budget, then I suggest going with something like this. This is for a little point and shoot, and here's a bigger version made by the same company for a SLR. Basically, there's a few different companies that make these. This one's made in South Korea. Basically, what it is, it's a vinyl, basically a plastic cover for your camera. It's not hard, but in a way, I would say up to around 15, 20 feet, maybe you can push it. It doesn't matter because this plastic is strong enough, and you gotta also remember that inside it, along with the camera, you're gonna have air, and that air itself creates sort of a protective bubble. So unless you're gonna be going for really deep dives where you're gonna have scuba gear and the whole equipment, I wouldn't really bother spending money on renting or buying those professional underwater camera housing, because without that, without professional scuba gear, in a way, you're not really going to go deeper than 15, 20 feet. So what else are you going to need besides your cameras and the underwater housing? One, I would say necessity is a good pair of underwater goggles. Doesn't really matter, whatever suits you better. But the reason why I say it is, it doesn't matter how good of a swimmer you are. Like I can swim and I can see pretty well underwater, but you're never ever going to see the minute little details that you need to see on the back of your camera's LCD, things like focus or whether the camera's recording without a good pair of goggles. And when I say a good pair of goggles, you got to make sure that basically the glass, when you go underwater, keeps everything in focus. Another thing that you might want to get, it's not a necessity, but it makes it easier especially when you're going a little bit deeper underwater and you want to get nice smooth camera moves, is a pair of good flippers, basically. I don't know, I think they're called flippers. Anyways, you put these on and you can swim, deeper underwater without using weights and things like that. And then the last thing is two separate towels. The reason is because one towel will be for you, and the other towel, you want to have a separate towel just for the camera and for the camera housing. When I'll show you guys later, but when you take out the camera, after you're done filming, you got to be really careful not to get water on your camera. And that's it. So let's get in the water. Oh crap, I forgot about the camera. So my camera is already turned on. Most of your settings, you want to do it before you put the camera into the case, because even though you can put your fingers in there, it is hard changing the settings. Next thing you want to do is you want to start basically putting the camera into the water and see for look out for any water, for any bubbles. You should also check basically for any moisture or anything like that inside the camera. If it a little bit gets through, it's okay. You can take out the camera, clean it, and then make sure you close it again really tightly. But most of the time I've never actually had any problems, and I've done this maybe 20 times already. So, but I'll test that out again. So. I did a test recording. It records. I can see. Another thing to keep in mind when you're recording underwater is in these ones. For the smaller cameras, you don't have to worry about it so much. But this one, because it has an extension for a zoom lens, you want to basically put your hand up here on the front and basically press this right against the glass of your lens. Don't worry, it's not going to scratch it. But this way, you make sure that you're not going to see the edge of your water housing in your shot. So just always press it in. And I'm going to record right now and show you an example of what it looks like. So this is right now recording. See, without me holding my hand on the water housing, and then here I put my hand and I press it against the glass, and you don't see anything. And you can put it on the water like this, and it's okay. Okay, another thing you want to do is basically in the middle of recording, for example, let's say the camera's overheating, or let's say moisture's building up inside there, you want to basically open up, you know, it's easier to open up, for example, like in this case, the front. You just unscrew it and let the air come in, and this way you'll let out the hot air, and also you'll make sure that the air outside and inside is the same temperature and humidity. This way you less of a chance you'll get condensation on the lens and things like that. And especially if the camera's overheating, you'll basically, you know, let it kind of cool off a little bit. And so, like I said, this one is good because you can just unscrew it. You don't have to take off the whole seal. But when you do it, you want to put it upside down, so any water, like, you know, is still on the housing, it will basically just drip down. And then when you're done, you just screw it back on. And make sure it's really tight. And then whenever you do any of these adjustments, whenever you open the front or the back, again, before you jump into the water, first dip it in on shallow water and just make sure it's not leaking. That was about 10 feet underwater, maybe a little bit more. And as you can see, the camera housing works. Alright, so I got some shots. Now they didn't look all that good simply because there was not enough light. Today the forecast said it was going to be sunny the whole day. I was lucky to get maybe like 5 minutes of sun, you know, here with pretty much like 20-minute breaks of clouds. But I got some shots in there. Also, there's not a lot of interesting things here in this water other than just, you know, some rocks basically. But I'll show you guys some shots also from the that I got in a swimming pool. One thing that this whole tutorial does prove is that these water housings, you know, as cheap as they are, they work. So really there's no point in spending more money on those big professional, you know, rigs, you know, unless you're really doing some really big production. So you know what, just grab one of these and go out into the water and have some fun. See you guys next time.